course, one of the things we can expect to see for quite a while still, I suspect, is those who bought into Project Fear, many of those who pushed the Project Fear lies about the supposed things that would happen after Brexit. They're still determined to be as miserable as they possibly can. And so you see recently with the HGV driver shortage, them attempt immediately to try and blame Brexit. You'll see this, as I said, sadly, you'll see this from some for years to come. Anytime anything goes wrong in a desperate attempt to try and prove themselves right. I mean, as Transport Secretary Grant Shapps actually recently pointed out, Brexit has been part of the solution to the crisis, enabling the government to change the law. But what I find really interesting about this is the dividing line again, and we've seen it from Boris Johnson in Prime Minister's questions, contrasting controlled migration and rising wages for British workers with the Labour Party, uncontrolled migration and low wages.
Yeah, and there's a dividing line now between this government and the opposition. We want a high-wage, high-skill economy with controlled immigration, Mr. Speaker, and what they want is low wages, low skills and uncontrolled immigration. That's what they stand for.
And yes, the government have a plan now for short-term visas for 10,000 foreign workers, including 5,000 fuel tanker and food lorry drivers for 3 months until the 24th of December in the run-up to Christmas there. But also up to 4,000 people in the UK to be trained as new HGV drivers on free skill boot camps and local courses. But what's interesting about this, again, is the Labour response here, first of all. I mean, it looks like the Labour Party want 100,000 foreign drivers to be given visas. Of course, seems to have been the sort of metropolitan orthodoxy that we've seen. Basically, every time business complains, give them an unlimited supply of cheap foreign labour. Of course, when we were in the European Union, open borders, unlimited supply, clearly kept wages down. We can already see that. On the other side of this, you're seeing Boris Johnson call for pay rise for lorry drivers. And to really illustrate this, I mean, you have a senior government source quote by The Telegraph is saying that the relaxation of rules allowing more foreign workers would only be in the run-up to Christmas because we need to be paying these people more rather than just flooding the market with cheap labour. It's interesting, isn't it, that that's not Labour's response to this, but it's actually the Conservatives that are now saying to companies and bosses, pay British workers more. Again, The Telegraph saying that some ministers are furious about being bounced into relaxing immigration rules. One government figure saying, every time the Confederation of British Industry says we need more immigration, we say, no, you don't. You need to invest in British workers. But this time we have gone, okay, have a bit more immigration. Government warning that ministers want to see employers make long-term investments in the UK domestic workforce with better pay. Again, Grant Shapps quoted as saying on this, we are acting now, but the industries must also play their part with working conditions continuing to improve and the deserved salary increases continuing to be maintained in order for companies to retain new drivers. I mean, we can clearly see now that cheap foreign labour has kept down wages for British workers. We've seen big wage rises already, like hospitality, construction. Expect to see this debate at the forefront, I think, of the next general election. I think Boris Johnson is going to be one of the main arguments that he deploys. So we want to see a country where British workers are actually paid more for their work. Let me know what you make of all of this, guys. What do you make of the government's response to this? Keen to hear from you, and as ever, make sure you do hit subscribe and the bells. I keep bringing you all the very latest here on my channel. Thanks so much for watching.